Hi, Treasure. How you doing? I've got your ad right here. Okay, and it is well, that's good. That's at full size, so we can get a good look at it. All right. Um, I, you're doing great. I love it. It's really it's exactly what I'm looking for, with the exception of a couple of things. So let me just describe that. I think you already just described one of the things, is that this is a very poor quality image, and you can see um, really when you start looking at some of the gradations and some of the color values here, especially right up here where the palms meet the sky, you can see some really bad pixel degradation there. So whether this is just a poor quality image or a low resolution image, I'm not quite sure. It's difficult for me to tell in a PDF. But what you want to do is you want to use an image where you go to Photoshop, and across the options bar at the top of Photoshop, you would say image size. And then within that dialog box, you're looking for 300 ppi as your destination size. Anything near 8 by 10 at 300 ppi. Of course, if it's larger, you can bring it smaller, but you never want to increase the size of anything in Photoshop. It doesn't quite work like that. You can always decrease, never increase, though. So anyways, so this is good, a good placement of the logo. I think using this sunset image presents some inherent advantages. One being that you get the silhouette effect, and it's really easy to place your type. The other thing is that, the bad thing, one of the disadvantages of using the silhouette is just you don't have any detail here in the shadow areas. And that's one of the things I think that's going to make this ad really enchanting, so to speak, is the detail that one will be able to see. Therefore, I suggest using a daytime image, more of a beach image. Another thing is a psychological communication that presenting a sunset kind of alludes to the end of a vacation, and you know how people kind of think that that's a drag. So using a sunset for a vacation kind of alludes to the end of a vacation. So that's why you typically don't see a lot of resorts using a sunset for their resort ads. Now, using a sunset for a restaurant, that's something completely different, because that's kind of like the transition between nightlife and daylife and nightlife, as it were. So anyway, so this is good. One thing I'd like you to do here is, this type here is too big. This come get swept away with us. We'll take care of everything. Let's reduce that size a little bit, and try not to use a bold. I wouldn't even use a italic on that. I would use just a regular Arial typeface. And then the only other thing I suggest is that you want to add the location of the resort somewhere, just so the viewer knows that this isn't something that is down the street. Well, I know it's not looking at the image, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so you definitely want to, if you do catch somebody's attention with your ad, with your image, and then with your verbiage, you definitely want to close that out with, wait a second, what is this here? Oh, I see. You have it down here. Okay. Yeah, you don't have it, but you want to give a location, definitely. U.S. Virgin Islands, I think is what it was. And then right here, this space between your lines right here, that's called leading, and you want to close that down just a little bit. You're a little too far away. And then finally, the last thing I want to say is that this image right here, it doesn't make sense that this sailboat would have light on the front of it. You see what I'm saying? See how you can see the sail, but you can't even see the foreground. So it just wouldn't make sense that being backlit would have any detail in it whatsoever. That would be pure silhouette. All right. Other than that, I think you're doing awesome. Any questions, give me a holler. Okay, thanks.